Hi, this is part two of the machinery I used to have. This was the first type of Honda mower I ever used. The first one I used belonged to someone else. I used it for their garden, but I liked it, so I thought I'd buy myself one. So I got myself one. The only problem was underneath where the exhaust is, there's a ridge bit, as you can see on the photo. They used to have a habit of cracking across there, and they would go on for quite a long time with the crack there. But then once the crack started to run, the mower become weak. But yeah, that was it. It was an HRB 536, and the hydrostatic drive, blade brake, clutch, and it was a good mower. I used mine for 4 or 5 years, but I did sort of have a deck change. I bought another spare one and changed bits over when the first deck sort of failed. So yeah, over the time I used it, probably 4 or 5 years. They were a great mower. This was the next trimmer I had. This was Makita. Um, it was alright. I bought it for £100. Actually, I paid £50 and my dad paid £50. We used it for quite a while, but it was only really a trimmer, and my brother used it for some more harder trimming back, and it stopped and it never did run again. I think my dad actually still has it in the shed now, but it was a good trimmer just for trimming the edges, really. This was the next blower I got. It was a Makita. I bought it off of eBay, shop sold, so it was a little bit cheaper. And I was always a little bit disappointed because it didn't quite have the power I expected it to have. It was a 4-stroke. It was always reliable and started okay, but the power just wasn't there. So I used it probably for three seasons or so, and then I got another one. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed with this one, but it was reliable. This was the next hedge car I actually used. I did own this in the end, but it was a customer who I worked for. I used it at their job, and then in the end they let me borrow it to do other jobs, which was really good of them. And then when they moved in the end, they give me it. So I probably used this for sort of 8 years. It was a Fuji Robin, same as a Makita. Makita make one much the same, it's just the colour's different. But it was a good hedge cutter. The only problem it did seem to do, it did seem to smoke quite a lot. In the end, it just wouldn't run properly. So actually, I bought another one for spares for it. So I sold a pair of them as a job lot. But yeah, it was a good strong hedge cutter, and I used it for a lot of hours because the person who actually owned it in the first place had loads of hedges, so it did a lot of work. But yeah, it was a good strong hedge cutter. So yeah, it was a good machine. This was my next ride-on I got. It was a Boland's LTX 14 horsepower hydrostatic. I bought this off of eBay. I won it quite cheap. I think £230 or something, and this was about probably 6 or 7, even longer than that, actually about 9 years ago. The bonnet was always cracked, but I managed to get another bonnet for it, and it was a mulching deck, and it was quite a good ride on until the drive started to slow in the end. Then my dad sort of carried on using it around his garden because it was getting very slow, and it's actually still up there. I shall probably in the end just take the engine off because the engine was a Briggs and Stratton 14 horsepower, so I should probably take that off, and the rest will probably get scrapped. But for the money I paid for it and the time I used it, probably over 4 years, it wasn't a bad ride on mower at all. That's it now. Thanks for watching. I'll be along with part 3 soon.